It's time for another quilted cosplay. And since I didn't learn from the last time, I've got less than 2 months. Woo! I grew up going to Scarborough Ren Fair near Dallas, and one of my favorite performers is retiring, so I feel like I really need to make it this year. After talking to friends and figuring out the best weekend, it's going to be the Viking and Barbarian weekend that we go to this year. And since I'm going to be traveling from California to go just to the fair, I want to go both days. Typically, when me and my husband travel to Texas, we're going to visit family, and I happen to get in a day at the fair. But this time, since we're traveling specifically for the fair, I want to go 2 days rather than just the 1 day I usually get to sneak in it. Since the weekend we're going is the Viking and Barbarian weekend, I conveniently have one outfit already that I made for the SoCal Viking Fest, so that's perfect. But I still need a day 2 outfit. Looking at the Scarborough website, they say the fair is designed as an English village celebrating a visit from Henry VIII. So of course, I thought of Six, the musical. I've been wanting to do Anne's costume since I saw the show a few years ago, and it just so happens to be perfect for quilted cosplay. So let's do this. The one with the plan to steal the man. Anne. Always a good intro. Did you have a plan? I don't know. I don't know my history well enough to know if that's true. I had a plan for this project. Before we dive into the super well-paced, meticulously planned project that had no change of plans, no all-nighters, no frantic shopping trips, and no sewing on an airplane, there's a reason this video is called the intro. I'm going to split this project up into a series of videos. Ultimately, it's a big project. My last quilted cosplay for an askant, that video ended up being over 40 minutes long and could have been even longer. And it took me about 5 months to edit, which was crazy. I don't want that to be the case for this one, so I'm breaking this one up into parts to keep my own sanity and to better organize stuff for y'all. It's going to be 3 parts. I'm going to do the skirt, the top, and the accessories / everything else. Plus, I'll do a final look video, see it all come together, and see it at the fair. So this first video, I break down my plan for the various parts, which of course I followed to a T. I also go through the fabric and materials that I'm going to use. So let's jump right in with the skirt. The most recognizable feature is the skirt, which is made of vinyl. All of the Queen's costumes have vinyl, which gives them a lot of structure. But typically with quilts, you don't want a lot of structure. You want the warm, cuddly, squishy. So how am I going to get the shape of the skirt that is achieved through a stiff vinyl? I could just put a quilt top on top of a vinyl petticoat. That's technically an option, but I want the skirt to stand in its own right. And I also want it to be washable. Vinyl's out for that. Vinyl's also probably not very comfortable for a whole day at the fair. So what I'm thinking is soft and stable. I use this to do by Annie bags. So the product, Soft and Stable, it's foam used in bag making. If you haven't ever done by Annie bags, you should totally check them out. I've made quite a few bags. I'll show some pictures. And essentially, it's got some structure to it. It's soft and stable. Huh? So I hope it's stable enough to hold up skirt. With me just holding a U in it, I'm hoping it's enough. I also happen to have a lot on hand because of all the bags I make. So I'm hoping it will give me the structure I need. Will it be stable enough? We'll see. I could add boning to give it some more structure, though since I do want it to be washable, maybe I could use like the heavy plastic zip ties and tack those like near the hem or something. That's a possibility. I'm hoping the Soft and Stable will work on its own. So the skirt in general is pretty straightforward. It's just going to be 8 trapezoidal panels. What about pockets, you might be asking? Well, I don't think they're going to fit in this skirt, but I haven't forgotten about them. The bodice is also pretty straightforward. It's princess seams, crop top, with loops added at the shoulder and the hem, but I am still going to need to make a pattern and do a mock-up for it. Surprisingly, I'm going to go back to the same pattern I used for Una Scant, Vogue 9202. Though this pattern does have a waist seam already in it, so I should just be able to crop it and straighten my bodice top out of this pattern. Like Una, I will need to add a collar, though this one is a back zip instead of a front zip, so I won't be able to use the collar that I patterned out for Una's, though they're of a similar shape. I fear using just muslin or quilt cotton to make my bodice mock-up is going to be too soft and flimsy to get an idea of how it would work if I'm going to use the soft and stable. So I'm going to use some cotton canvas out of my stash. Some of my favorite fabric type from Joanns in their closing. And yet the sales they're having during these closings are crap. I used to be able to get this, like I would buy this on sale and it was $4 a yard. Now they're like, ooh, it's 20% off, but like it's normally $13, so often they had it on sale for like 75% off, so why aren't they doing that? Anyway, I'm gonna miss Joanns. There's something about getting to actually feel your fabric before you buy it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm hoping the stiffer cotton canvas material will give me a better idea in my mock-up as to how the soft and sable is going to feel. Though I could also use just quilt batting, regular cotton quilt batting for the bodice and make it not quite as stiff. But I might need the stiffness in the bodice to support the loops, because those are definitely going to have to be soft and stable, for especially the shoulders, to get that structure. Let's take a look at the fabric. I ordered a 10-pack of fat quarters, green fat quarters. I think these two are too light. So taking those out, that leaves 8, which conveniently, there are 8 panels in this skirt. Yeah, so between the 8 panels in the skirt and actually using them for lining on the skirt as well, I should have plenty still to do all the squares I need for the bodice and the skirt, which is fabulous. So I'm going to use 8 fat quarters of the green, 2 yards essentially, right? Math, yes. I'm going to get these washed, and I really hope they are still of the correct size when they're done. And then the sashing, or the majority of the skirt, the black background on the skirt and the top, is going to be this black. There's a very slight check and dot pattern on there. Don't know if you can see it on film. And then the polka dots, which I'm super excited about. They look so good. That's going to be so perfect. Polka dots for the binding. That covers the majority. Then obviously soft and stable, which hopefully this is enough. That's gonna be enough. Yeah, that's totally gonna be enough. Soft and stable for sure for the skirt, potentially for the bodice as well. Definitely for the skirt. And then I've even got some more smaller scraps that I could use for the loops and the shoulder loops. What else? I've got 2 separating zippers that are black with silver, which I thought would be pretty cool. And I want separating for both the top and the skirt. The top, obviously, just so I can get it on. And then the skirt, technically, I could totally not do separating, but I'm thinking going to the bathroom at the fair, it'll be very nice if I can just take my whole skirt off. So that way I can just like hand my skirt off to my husband and use the bathroom as need be. And I plan to get like some bike shorts or booty shorts that I can wear underneath, since even with it all poofed up, it's a bit showy to not wear something suitable underneath anyway. So yeah, 2 separating zippers for that. I've got this guy. I probably need to order some more. So this mesh is also by Annie, used in bags and whatnot. I'm going to use this to make the top, to get that spot in between on the chest, stomach, whatever. So I need to make like a tank top or something. I can probably even buy a tank top and then just attach a chunk of this around there, in which case maybe I don't need to buy more, but either way, I need a little bit there. I also want to use it for the bracers. My plan for the bracers, which maybe I won't have enough green for that. There's probably going to be enough. I should be able to get enough. Yeah, I could even use the 1.5 inch squares and make a patchwork of that, because it's just the top is green, and then it's got the dots, 2 lines of dots, so I can do 2 stripes of that, and then 2 strips of elastic on either side of like 6 inch wide elastic, so I can get it on and off, but then have a solid piece here on the forearm that'll probably just be the black, but add a zipper. Yeah, I said I didn't have pockets in the skirt. Pockets won't fit in the skirt. But if I put a zipper in the forearm, and I can keep, like, when I go to the fair, I won't be able to hold my phone that way, but I'll be able to put my ID, my credit card, some cash, that kind of stuff in there, which I think is a brilliant idea, personally. But I don't know how I'm going to do my phone now. My phone most definitely will not fit there. What could I do? I'll have to think about that. My phone's got to go somewhere. Yeah, let's figure that one out. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm totally good with all my fabrics. I'm going to go get these in the wash. They still smell, even after being open for quite a few hours. These ones I've had for days. This one I just got today, just opened. They always smell. Anyway, gonna get these washed. Hopefully I don't lose the silver on here. I don't know if it's coming through in the camera, but that is like silver. It's so good. It's gonna be awesome. Okay. Getting these washed so that tomorrow I can start piecing. And I'm only on day 1. Wow. This is going really well. My goodness, was I naive and optimistic, but in the end, Anne did make it to the fair, and I'm excited to share this journey with y'all. This video only covered my very first general plans and ideas. Of course, there's a lot more details to cover and quite a few twists and turns to come. My preliminary calcs show that I'll have enough from this, but I'm actually going to do the final calculations tomorrow before I start cutting stuff. To see how it all turns out and follow along on the journey, please like and subscribe. And until next time, don't lose your head.